And we started to get into a conversation about the ways that we actually wanted to continue not fulfilling some expectations and fulfilling others. Because that was important. Because again, part of my job was to go like, we have to go there. It's okay. We're not going to laugh throughout this section of the play. It will actually help the other sections of the play if we get to go to this other place. And so, and he's such a good actor. I mean, I remember one moment that we that's very important to me in the show is a moment where Buddy has locked himself in his room, and John goes to the bedroom door, and Buddy won't open the door, and he's sitting there, and his son asks him, a question about essentially, why do people hurt each other? And I just told him to just take 10 seconds before he answered. Because every parent in the world, I'm telling you, man, you've been outside that door and you have no answer. And it's important for us to see, in the silence what John is going through. And he does that moment it's a brilliant moment in the show. He's fantastic in it. And the fact that, I had a performer who was equally adept at drama and comedy was a real strength of the show, and I wanted to go there, with him, and it's and he did too. He wasn't resistant to it. He's just so inside of it. It's just hard to know, what's landing. So we started to explore a lot of that in La Jolla, so that by the time we came to Berkeley Rep, I think we were in La Jolla in February. We came here in August, so that we had like another 5 months.
I feel like it was sooner than August.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Wasn't?
Maybe it was July.
It was July because
it was July. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was. I think he played through. I think it kept extending. So I think
we're at
here.
Oh yeah.
It just kept extending.
I think you kept extending.
I kept extending it because I was John. Come on, man.
I don't trust you. I was hearing it.
Felix makes some money. We need to do this.
Exactly. John was like, Tony got me. Got me for 6 weeks here.
I screwed him. It was good.
So anyway, so tell me again. So after La Jolla?
La Jolla, we came to Berkeley Rep some months afterwards, maybe like 3 or 4 months afterwards. And actually one of the tricks about how long to wait is like, it's a really big show to memorize and to repeat. And so making sure he had the show in his head, that we had rehearsed enough. And then we went through a scare here. I don't know if you were aware of that. We went through a scare here. We were here and we were about to do the first run through in the rehearsal hall, and he started the show and he said, "Why are the lights flashing?" I was like, "There are no lights. The lights are flashing." He said, "The lights in the room are flashing." Like, the lights are not flashing, dude. Asked the stage manager. The stage was like, "The lights are not flashing." The lights are flashing. So he said, "Okay, let me take a little break." He came back and he couldn't remember anything. He could not remember anything. We thought he was having a heart attack. And we just rushed him to the hospital. And he ended up getting a CAT scan, the whole deal. And he ended up, after about 3 days of not knowing what he had, he ended up being diagnosed with migraines, which he didn't believe at the time because he'd never had them before. But it turned out to be that. But it was a pretty big scare. I mean, we actually didn't even call his wife for 48 hours because we didn't want to terrify her with news that was wrong. And I'm glad we didn't, because he wasn't having a heart attack. He wasn't dying. But we called her right away after that and said, "Hey, your boy's out here and he's suffering." So she came out. But that was the thing. And then he was fine. He figured out what to do. He was, cut back on a whole bunch of stuff. Ended up having to take care of himself in a different kind of a way. And he understood that he was at a certain age where he just couldn't do what he was doing in the past before, and which wasn't. I mean, John's a healthy guy. But he was over caffeinating. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was happening that were catalyzing these migraines. It was scary. It was scary. So